Hey everybody. Whoa. Been a little while. Been a little while. This is I don't know what this video is. It's just kind of a hanging out, and I picked up a couple things, and I got some stories to tell you, and so we're just gonna, months ago I was talking about doing like a hangout video, or just like hang out with you guys. I guess that would be like a live stream. I'm not sure if I'm quite there yet. I don't know if like I'd get enough people on a live stream, so let's have some coffee, hang out. Top of the morning. If you're not ready, guys, you should pause this video and go make yourself a cup of hot coffee or hot tea, hot cup of coffee, or hot cup of tea, or whatever floats your boat, as the kids say. I'm just getting back from a 5-night camping excursion, which is the first time I've camped in, I'm scared to say how long. Not to say that I'm disappointed in myself, but it's been a long time since I've gone camping. I've been thinking about going camping for like 10. I've actually been wanting to go bike packing, which is putting the gear on your bike and going to a campsite somewhere. And I've been building up to it and putting it off and waiting for the right time. And about 2 weeks ago, I just said, you know what? I'm just going camping. So I did, and it was wonderful. I went swimming in the ocean 3 or 4 times. I had 3 glasses of beer, which is not like, or 3 cans of beer, I should say, which is not like me. I don't consume alcohol, but I was feeling very relaxed, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy a beer, and I'm going to go sit in a secluded place on the beach, and I'm going to enjoy a cold beer while I let the waves lick at my toes, and it was wonderful. Had a couple bike rides. I slept through a rainstorm, which was kind of interesting. So anyway, all that to say, I came back to society yesterday, and I was feeling very strange. I my medications have been a little mixed up too, and I've just been in a kind of weird headspace. And I had to work yesterday at my retail job, which I've just had it with people and retail, and I think years ago, I posted a picture of myself looking as I do, maybe minus the eyeglasses. And I made a post on Instagram, and I said, I'm not a hippie, but I definitely feel like I'm a free spirit. And I think maybe I'm a hippie. I'm coming out of the closet again as a goddamn hippie. But no, I mean, just as a free spirit, I guess. And so things are changing a bit in my life, and I know you guys are probably sitting there saying to yourself, I came here for movies, so I'll give you a few things. The other crazy thing is, shout out to my main man Chris and Ryan and Seamus and Ian. I've been downsizing my movie collection to just my favorites and a few things I haven't seen yet that I think I'll probably like. But it's been like Westinghouse clearing in here, and I've gotten rid of so much stuff, and I still have so much stuff to go. But all that money's going into a little jar, which is being saved for a project of mine, a life project. And so, yeah, so things are changing around here. It's also, we're nearing the end of the summer. On the hi-fi this morning, I listened to the Byrds' greatest hits. I listened to the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, and just before I started recording this, I was listening to Bob Marley's Legend. So I guess that's kind of where my headspace is at. I've been listening to a lot of Grateful Dead jams on YouTube. I've been really into Dinosaur Jr. the last week or so. And then a few things I picked up. One thing I picked up was the debut album from Superchunk from 1990. This is the 2017 reissue. So I sold a bunch of my movies, or I traded in a bunch of my movies to Taz Records in Halifax, and I got a nice big whopping credit, which is where most of the stuff I picked up came from. Guys, I haven't been in Value Village for. I was in there on Friday, which was the first time I've been there in like 2.5 weeks. So trying to cut back on the thrifting. It's getting a little out of control, but I'm still going to pick things up from time to time. That's just my nature. I can't resist some movies and some music, but yeah, I picked this one up. I think I only ever had this copied off somebody on a cassette. I don't think I ever actually owned this album. Like I said, this is the 2017 reissue from Merge Records. It looks like it was a promo copy. But I've been listening to this. This was my camping summer 2025 album for sure. There's a picture of the band, or some pictures. There's Mac all sweaty. Of course, Laura, my spirit animal, Laura Balance. But yeah, it's been a long time since I listened to this album, and man, I was reading some of the liner notes too, and like, Laura was saying that like they basically like threw themselves into the studio like over Christmas break or January school break or something, and they recorded this album like fast and dirty and furious and beautiful, and it's a wonderful album. So if you like from the heart punk rock with a little hint of pop sweetness, then this is your puppy. This has Sick to Move, My Noise, Let It Go, Slack Motherfucker, which is a great tune, which Firehose did a really... If you've never heard the Firehose cover of Slack Motherfucker, go check it out. This is just a... Oh, man, so good. That was my summer... That was definitely my summer album. Let's see. Yesterday, I left the campground. I didn't sleep very much the night before because there was a huge thunder and lightning storm and rainstorm in my tent, all cuddled up in my mummy sleeping bag. So I didn't get a lot of sleep, but on the way home yesterday morning, I listened to a new pickup for me. This is John Carpenter, The Lost Themes, and this one's entitled Noir. And let me tell you, if you ever want to have a real trippy experience, put this on the car stereo while you're driving through the country at dusk. Dawn, I mean. The sun's just coming up, but it's still a little dark. Pop this one on. Ooh. Wow. I mean, I like John Carpenter's kind of these Lost Themes albums are really good. This is only the second one I've got so far, but I really like it. This one's called Noir, so I guess it's supposed to be... At first I thought it was going to be like detective music or something, but it's not. It's his like synth pop, dark kind of synth soundtrack music. He's accompanied on here by his son Cody Carpenter and somebody called Daniel Davies. This is from 2024 from Sacred Bones Records. So yeah, go check that out. If you like dark synthesizer music, that's your jam. The only movie I got this week, or actually the last 3 weeks, I got the Killer Clowns from Outer Space 4K Blu-ray combo. This is the 35th anniversary edition. Alien bozos with an appetite for close encounters. I have not watched the 4K yet. I'm saving it. I might watch it tonight, actually. But yeah, classic. I still have the Blu-ray. I'm going to get rid of it, but that Blu-ray with the weird brown, like, country and western font on it, it's so ugly. And I've been... was it last Halloween? I think it was last Halloween. My local Wally Mart got 2 or 3 copies of this. And I think I told the tragic story of it was a couple of days before payday, and I was kind of down on some cash, and I was like, oh, I'll just wait till payday and I'll go grab that. And when I went back, they were all gone. So I've been kind of wanting to get this, and I had some credit. So shout out to my brothers and sisters at Taz Records for the awesome credit. And this was the only movie I picked up. I had a few others kind of in my basket. I was looking for the Terminator 4K, which I think came out recently, or am I dreaming? would kind of like to get that. I have that on Blu-ray, I guess, which actually the Blu-ray doesn't look bad. But I had credit to burn, so I was like, if I could find it, I'd probably grab it. And then I've got a few movies on my want list. And I can never find any of them. Probably have to like shop online to get them. They're probably just too obscure, like Tetsuo Iron Man or Extro. I think Smooth Talk, the one with Laura Dern and Treat Williams, I think that got a Criterion, which is another one I'd kind of like to get, or at least I'd like to rewatch it. Maybe I should see if it's on streaming. Let's have another. Are you ready for another sip of coffee? We're hanging out. Have a little sip. It's a beautiful mid-August morning here. The cars are going by. The sun is coming up. The birds are singing. It's supposed to be about, I think, 27 today with the humidex. So we're coming off of about a month and a half of like brutal humidity. So I'm really hoping that we can start to get some of these nicer summer days. Though here in Nova Scotia, all the trails are closed because of a burn ban. We already have a few fires out of control in the province, so that's a bummer. But yeah, all of the bike trails and hiking trails are all closed, so it's kind of brought my cycling to a bit of a halt just because I'm not a fan of road cycling. Though if we get some of these cooler days, I'm just going to have to push myself to do some road cycling just to get some cycling in before it gets too cold. But I'm also hoping to push my cycling season into the fall a bit too. So, yeah. So I get why they're doing this burn or trail ban. It's just so that dum-dums that don't understand that fires can destroy communities and affect homeless people. Shout out to Tracy for opening my mind to the complexities of banning people from the woods. Some of those folks that rely on living in the woods, this must be really challenging for them. So it's a real mess, guys. The world's literally on fire. So if you can take care of people in your community, do so. I should definitely practice what I preach. But yeah, anyway, I don't know how I got on that tangent. I guess we're hanging out, we're talking about things. So yeah, it's just kind of a drag, but yeah, the humidity's been a real drag for the last 5 or 6 weeks. So this morning's nice and cool. I've got all the windows open, and I decided not to put the lights on, just enjoy the natural light. And then the last 3 things I got were vinyl. Did I get these at? Yeah, so I got. So the only one I got at the only thing I've bought at Value Village, and I pat myself on the back for not wasting my money. I picked up Van Halen, Women and Children First. Oh, I should get rid of the sleeve. I picked this up for $1.99. It's in pretty nice shape. I haven't actually listened to it yet, but shout out to Chris, my friend Chris again, who found this in the records and said, "Hey, here's a Van Halen record. I bet you'd like this." I was like, "I bet I would," because it was one of those situations where I couldn't remember if I had the CD or not. So I just decided for $1.99 I'll grab it. It goes against my kind of downsizing efforts, but if that's the only thing I got thrifting in the last 3 weeks, well, whatever. And I justified the few things that I picked up at Tez because I got rid of a backpack plus a whole shopping bag full of DVDs and Blu-rays. So I probably traded in about, I don't know, 100 movies, and I came back with like 2 records, a movie, and a CD, or 2 CDs. So there's 2 things going on here. I'm trying to downsize because I see, I'm starting to see my future. Man, I'm starting to see the future, man. And I want to downsize, and I have some ideas in mind for my future, and so I just I don't want to be weighed down with all this shit. And I realized, looking around at my collection, I was like, I'm never going to rewatch probably a third of this. I made a list of my 150 favorite movies of all time, and I'm kind of thinking I'm maybe using that as like a spitball for like how to kind of negotiate downsizing and curating, although I hate that word because it sounds like something a hipster would say. Maybe I'm a hipster too. God, who knows? I'm a natural human being is what I am. Speaking of natural human beings, I got 2 new vinyl records. The first one up I got is Crosby, Stills, Nash. This, you guys can tell me. I don't really know a lot about this band, but this appears to be from 1969. I believe this is their debut album, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. This is the one that has Hopelessly Hoping on it, which was on the soundtrack to the film Annihilation with Natalie Portman. And that's where I first heard this song. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I grew up with this. I didn't. My parents weren't hippies. And I kind of always shied away from hippie music because I was really a punk rocker at heart. I still am. But, as you get older, you soften around the edges a little bit too. And, but I really loved that song. As soon as I heard it, it spoke to me. And I had this record in my collection a couple years ago, a used copy, and I got rid of it, which I regretted. I think I was downsizing because I was moving and I was getting rid of some stuff. But so I picked this one up. It's been, when I'm not listening to Superchunk in the car, I'm listening to this record at home. It's on clear vinyl, which I thought was pretty cool. Not that I'm into that shit, because I'm not a vinyl person. I'm not like a hi-fi person. I like what I like. Is that some kind of like, making fun of like some old country person that's like, I don't know much about art. I just likes what I likes. And it has an insert here with some really cool artwork, which has kind of inspired me to maybe pick up my markers this weekend and do some drawing. Joni Mitchell did the artwork for one of those Crosby, Stills, Nash albums, and that art always inspired me to be creative. Of course, along just with Joni Mitchell in general, but excuse me. I'm not going to try to get this thing back in there. Oh God, where have I gone? Oh, I disappeared. Hello, in video land. No, I didn't take any drugs. Though it would seem that way. Here's the inside of the record. Crosby, Stills, Nash. Anyway, what can I say about this record? I've listened to this record a few times in my life, and I really enjoy it. But Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Marrakesh Express, of course, Hopelessly Hoping. Last Monday, I drove my landlady up the road. She had a doctor's appointment. I'll leave it at that. And she asked me if I'd take her into the city using her car, and she'd give me a little pin money there, So anyway, right before we were leaving to go to the city, I was at her house, which is next door, and she listens to satellite radio. She listens to songs of the 60s and 70s on her satellite, what do you call it? Satellite radio? Virgin radio? I don't know. But anyway, Hopelessly Hoping came on the radio while we were talking, and I just stopped talking. I was like, can we just listen to this song? And she was like, absolutely. And so we just sat there and listened to that song. It was so beautiful. And so when I got to the record store with my credit, I was like, you know what? I'm going to look for that. I was looking for Crosby, Stills, Nash. I was looking for Dinosaur Jr. And I was hoping to find this particular Miles Davis record, which I found on CD a couple months ago. I think I've talked to you guys about it before, but it's Miles Davis and Quincy Jones live at Montreux. And I've been obsessed with that CD, and I thought this would be a really nice record to have. Might sound good on vinyl. Not that I'm one of those people, but I am kind of getting a bit back into vinyl, which is a bit of a contradiction for me, because about the last 15 years I've been yelling at people to stop buying records because CDs sound better. But that's for a whole other video. Let's have another coffee. You know, David Lynch he used to say, "Yes, I would take coffee, or I would take a coffee." And let's try to incorporate that into our dialect. Yes, I would like to take a coffee. So I was looking for Miles Davis, particularly that one with Quincy Jones. If you've never heard that album, go check it out. It's wicked. And then just any Miles Davis in general, Dinosaur Jr. And then again, I was kind of obsessed with this Crosby, Stills, Nash record. And what else did I look at? I don't know what else I was definitely had a few albums in mind, but you know, you got to be picky. Like, even with $150 in credit, you can only get like 2 or 3 records at the prices they're at now. It's ridiculous. So I had to be pretty selective. So the last record I got, yeah, I know, you're like, shut up, show us the damn record. I picked up the first Dinosaur Jr. record, which I believe is just called Dinosaur Jr. Or it's actually just called Dinosaur. No, it's called Dinosaur. Dinosaur Jr., the album's called Dinosaur. And this is a reissue from Jaguar from 2011. So yeah, I've been a Dinosaur Jr. fan most of my life. I've skipped out on them a few times. I grew up on Bug. Excuse me. I grew up on the album Bug, and I grew up on this album. I say grew up, I mean 88 to 93 or 4 was kind of my prime time for Dinosaur Jr. But I've liked other things. I have the Farm album on CD, which I really like. I got a sampler CD from the radio station I used to work at. So I got a few things in between there, but I definitely would like to add some more back in my collection. This has Forget the Swan, Cats in a Bowl, The Leper, Repulsion. This album is so good. This album, I don't know what year this was. I think this album's originally from 1985, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Or you can just shut up. I don't really know. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Yeah, it doesn't say, but I have a feeling this record's from 1985. So around 2010, or no, around 2008, 2009, oh my god, I've disappeared again. Around 2008, 2009, I picked up this on cassette from a Salvation Army store, along with a bunch of other Dinosaur Jr. tapes, but I seem to have given those away. Yeah, I gave my cassette collection to, Christ, I forgot his name. I gave away my cassette collection to one of my friends in St. John, and Doug. And I'm Dougie! So I gave all my cassettes to Doug, and because he's really into cassettes, and I was looking to get rid of my cassettes because I didn't really listen to them, and I still don't really listen to them. So anyway, I lost all my Dinosaur Jr. tapes in that purge back in about 2014 or 2015. So yeah, so just adding these back to my collection. I've listened to this once. It's wonderful. I've been watching a lot of live clips of Dinosaur Jr. on the YouTubes. So yeah, that's my I don't know. This is like a Hangout video and like a haul. Not really though. I just got a few things. But yeah, I've been really like feeling good and really light and getting rid of some junk that I don't need and being mindful about what I'm picking up, and camping has been so good. And so I'm definitely investing in myself a bit more, which is nice. And I don't want you guys to be scared off. I mean, this is still kind of like a movie channel, but it might morph into just kind of more music and movies and hanging out and just talking about life and cycling and apparently becoming a hippie, a dirty old hippie. I've been wearing the same shirt for about 4 days. So I don't know. I hope you guys are good out there. I hope everything's going good. And I'm just, it's not often, I think, in life that we go through these kind of transitionary things or we start to think about other things in life or other ways of living. And so I guess I'm in one of those transitionary periods. And so I'm probably going to be pretty spacey until I kind of get resettled. Of course, like I said, my medications have been really screwed up this year. And just recently, I decided to give up my antidepressants, which I do go through a phase with those. Trigger warning, mental health issues, but I tend to use antidepressants when I need them, and then when I feel like I'm good, I just go off them, and that's under doctor approval. So don't feel like I'm just going off my medication and going loony. That's not nice to say. Just going off my meds and maybe being a little less stable, personally speaking. But yeah, so that and my estrogen patch fell off in the ocean water, so my body's been without estrogen for about 5 days, and just yesterday was not a pretty picture. I'm sorry to anybody who I was mean or yelled at. I wasn't myself yesterday for sure, and coming back into town life after being out in the campground is just really weird. Not I haven't done that ever in my life, really. I mean, I've gone camping, but reintegrated back to jobs and things like that. But this was like kind of shocking. So it was a bit intense. But yeah. So anyway, all that said, I am feeling really good. I'm really sleepy. I haven't had a lot of sleep, or I shouldn't say that though. Like a couple of those nights, I slept like 10 hours when I was camping, which was amazing. Accompanied maybe by some beer, and I had ice cream and I had pastries and I swam in the ocean and I daydreamed and I listened to jazz and I took naps in my tent and I cooked food on a little propane stove, not a stove, but just one of those little fold out burner stoves. And I watched the sunrise and I watched the sunset, and it was amazing. And I want to do more of that and less of like staring at my TV and being a vegetable. So, hey, it's all good. It's all coming up golden. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone's doing good out there. Channels I would recommend. Phil with a double L is a channel I've been watching a lot lately, which is really inspired me to rethink my collecting habits, my movie collection. And so shout out to Phil with a double L if you are into physical media. If you're struggling with like collecting junk and you just want to downsize or be more mindful about what you do with your money and your collecting habits, I highly recommend Phil's channel. He's awesome. Who else? I watch Hack the Movies is another good channel. They do kind of like these round table discussions about movies. Recently they did what's that one? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall. So I've been feeling like maybe I want to go recheck or rewatch that movie, check it out again. I mean, I saw that movie in the theater when I was a 20-year-old, I guess, 1990, I think it came out. So I want to rewatch that one. And I noticed that they just talked about what's the best Naked Gun movie. It has to be the first one. When I was camping, I watched a few movies actually. So hey, we could do like a crossover. So in the evening, after I'd done all my stuff and it was dark, we're not allowed to have campfires here because of the burn ban. So we couldn't have open flame or campfires. You can have a propane campfire, but I didn't buy one of those, and I tried to buy one while I was camping from a local hardware store, but they're all sold out because everybody's doing the same thing. So it didn't leave a lot of options in the evening. So I did bring along my laptop and my little external disk drive, and I watched Austin Powers, and I watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, and I watched some random episodes of Batman from 1966. And so that was kind of fun. When I was back, so I started camping last Sunday night. When I came back in on Monday to take my landlady to her doctor's appointment, I just grabbed some DVDs from my closet, and I was like, what would be fun? I grabbed the Austin Powers $1 million, and I grabbed a Harrison Ford 4-pack, which I didn't get around to, but I was thinking of rewatching Mosquito Coast, because that was one I picked up a few months ago that I haven't gotten around to watching. I grabbed the Batman box set. I really wanted to watch some Indiana Jones, but the only one I had on DVD was Crystal Skull. All the other ones I have on Blu-ray, and my external disc drive won't play Blu-rays, only DVDs. So, but you know what? Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull is a cool movie. I don't care what anyone says. Man, haters gonna hate, I guess, but that movie's actually really fun and really cool, and it's got some great imagery in it, and yeah, it's far-fetched and it's got aliens in it, and like, but who gives a shit? Like, these hipsters going on about like, oh, you can only watch the original trilogy or Dial of Destiny's crap, or it's like, you guys missed the whole point of Indiana Jones. It's supposed to be fantastic. You're missing the whole point. Nazis searching for the mythical Ark of the Covenant, which clearly doesn't even exist. It's just it's a made-up fairy tale. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, with the reaching into the guy's chest and pulling out his heart, and the stones that glow and stuff, and Indiana Jones and the Grail, the quest for the Grail Cup. I mean, Crystal Skull with the elongated glass skulls, and the Dial of Destiny with the thing, I forget what it's called now. It's supposed to be fantastic. I'm so sick of these hipsters going on about these movies that they don't understand. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I ain't saying I'm Gene Siskel, but my God, you guys, lighten up. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun and fantastic. You know what the problem is? Here's the problem. I've been preaching this for a decade or more. The mystery has been sucked out of our lives, out of everything. And that's why everyone's so cynical. So mystery has been sucked out of our lives. So you know what I encourage you to do? I know this video's going long. Put some mystery back into your life. Go turn over a rock and look at the weird bugs. Go somewhere you've never been. Now, read a book you've never read. Try drawing a picture, even if you can't draw, or even if you don't think you can draw. Play an instrument, even if you think you can't play an instrument. Close your eyes in the sun and daydream and imagine another world of fantastical creatures. Like, put the mystery back into shit, because those people that control social media and the internet and all that, they don't want you to think about anything other than just buy some shit and watch whatever we tell you to watch on the Netflix. And, it's just, wake up, people. I know, I'm not trying to be preachy, but I'm just saying, and I've been saying this for a decade or more, let's put some mystery back into things, because the Alan Parsons Project, those people want to suck the mystery out and put you into line, and you don't have to be that way. So wear a weird hat today. Is that enough? I was going to say drive your car backwards, so that's probably not a good idea. Go out and find some mysteries, but be safe, okay, out there, guys. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video in some weird fashion. I'm in a weird mood, as you can probably tell, but listen to Dinosaur Jr., eat cake, swim in the ocean, and daydream about a mystery. That's it for today, guys. If you've made it to the 35-minute mark, God bless you. I don't want to say I love you because I don't love everybody, obviously. I don't know everybody, but if you know me and I know you, then hello, and I love you. Tanya, Tracy, Corey, my homies, my homegirls, my home persons. That's it for today. Go out and absorb some of that sun. The autumn is just around the corner, guys. I was at the magazine store today, or yesterday, I should say, and there was all kinds of autumn magazines. What there was one that really got me. I wanted to buy it, but it was like $18, but it was like Autumn Dreaming or something like that, and it was like all these pictures of like pumpkins and cornfields and hay mazes and all that. I was just like, oh, tea with the steam rising off of it in the cool breeze. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So I am looking forward to the autumn, but I'm really trying to soak up this last month of summer before the fall comes. So yeah, get out. I know if you live where I live, and like a lot of places, you can't go hiking on the trails and stuff, but there are still places you can go. Your backyard. You can walk down the side of a country road safely, of course. There's still like some parks that are open where I live. The provincial campgrounds are still open as long as you don't smoke cigarettes or the marijuana cigarettes or have an open flame fire pit. But you can still go and enjoy those spaces. Just be safe. That's all. And don't be a smart aleck and post on social media that you're going for a walk in the woods even though you're not allowed, because you will get fined. Oh yes, the guitar will be mine. Oh, I was almost going to do a Wayne's World Austin Powers crossover there. The guitar will be mine. But Austin Powers is great. I love that movie. So yeah, that's it, guys. I have to go to work in like an hour or so I'm really bummed out about it. But tis what tis. Tis what it is. I guess that's what they would have said back in the day. They wouldn't say it is what it is. It is what it is. Say that when you go out in the world and see what people say. That's it for today, guys. Peace. Until next time, I'll see you on the side of a road walking, smelling the roses. Until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.